What's up? What's up? Give me a minute and we could get this cracking. Yo, what's up, Caleb? How you doing? What's going on? Let me just set some stuff up. How I sound? The levels is good. The levels is good. A little impromptu live stream. Chat room's filling up. We're going to kick it. We're going to do our thing. What's up, everybody? Room's filling up. Nice. Nice. Good looking out. Boom. 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 Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It's like Ice Cube right now. Like the rap song that was also in the Last of Us 2 gameplay preview. Today was a good day. Oh, bad. Hey, are you going to talk about the riots? I don't know. Is that an off topic? Y'all interested? All right. I might touch on that if that's something people want me to touch on. I could give my opinion on that. But for right now, just like my boy Call Me Jay said, hit the like button, retweet this out. You know, whatever social media platforms you be rocking out to, Twitter, Facebook. You know, help out your boy. You know what I'm saying? You know, I keep my platform subscription free. So that's why I don't be doing, I don't got the energy to be doing like Patreons. And I'm not knocking anybody that does that, man, because there's people who really, you know, who did a great job of their channel and turned it into a brand. So they're doing a lot of stuff like that and they deserve it. I just don't want to do that. I just enjoy being able to rock out with y'all, talk these topics. I got my boys back. So, you know, if you missed it, 2 days ago, did a live podcast with J Dub all day, Craig, Jay Barry, and it was just friends, gamers who enjoy PlayStation, and we got together and we preached some truth, some facts for the community that loves PlayStation. You understand what I'm saying? So, and to me, that's always been about for me, you know, just enjoying the content, enjoying the conversation and stuff like that, and you know, and rocking out with you guys who put in the time to rock out with me, and then that's it. All right. So shout out, we got Caleb, we got Josh out here, we got Vegeta, Call Me Jay, Rome Rush, man, you know, coming up. Hey, Rome Rush, I'll probably do something next week. Definitely. I'll link up with you in the DM. All right, I'll link up with you in the DM. All right, Sam Ash, what's going on? You know, we got God 981, Craig the tech guy. You know, what's going on? We got 1985 here. You know, Carl Cameroon right here. So what we got? Oscar Gonzalez, man. Thank you, brother. Big supporter. Man, I guess he just loves my content. My man Oscar's like, yo, just talk. Get yourself out there. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for the super chat, Oscar. You know, hope you enjoy what I'm about to bring and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? El Matador. You know, what's going on, brother? It's been a while. Shout out to Sony for being savage and give us gamers what we want, which true definition of future gaming. By the way, Ghosts of Greatness over everything this year. Una vaina bien, the game of my life. Yo, Ghost is hot. Ghost is looking fire. Yo, Sony's going hard, you know. And that's a good thing because what that does is momentum. Because when you go this hard, people remember that, you know. People, you know, come November, people are going to be like, yo, Sony's doing their thing. So why wouldn't I continue to stay on the platform that just keeps pushing the limits, you know? What we got here? Again, Carl Cameron, what's going on? Azazel Black, what's up? Keeping it 100. Yeah. AC was good. Darren Slaughter, what's up? Warlock God. Oh, yeah, I already say. I know you mentioned about the riots. We'll see. Justin Stout, the PC master out here. What's going on, brother? Yujiro, what's good? You know, Chris Leonard. Topic we're gonna be talking about Sony. More importantly, Jim Ryan saying that he believes in generations, and we're gonna hit a little bit about backwards compatibility and stuff like that. All right. Of course, Call Me Jay. I said, who else we got? Raven Rodriguez. Last of Us 2 pre-ordering Spider-Man is huge. Yeah. Cheeks the Freak, PS5, baby. You know, that's what's up. Who else we got? Robert McLeod, am I here? Oh, yeah, you are. Murillo, what's going on? Greatness awaits. Oh, definitely. Definitely. Who else we got? You know, Cryptopsy, he says, hey, P-Rock, I can sell you a box for you to play the same games your box already has to play. I asked for $500 for it. Got it. Day one, dog. That's Meesy. You know what I'm saying? What's up? Kevin Mack was good. Man, you know, what's it? Mr. Decepticon, you know. You know, Manuel Arroyo. Buenas noches, ¿cómo está, pana? ¿Cómo está la cosa? Seth, you know, Proto, man, you know, the chat's filling up nicely. You know, truly appreciate you guys, you know, last minute joining up, you know. So I want to definitely come out with some great points, you know. Got a little clickbait title up in here, you know what I'm saying? Got a little clickbaitish title, but it's gonna be grounded in merit, though. You know, at the end of the day, it's gonna be grounded in truth and facts, and that's what you came here for, right? And that's how we're gonna do it, all right? So, Jim Ryan, right? June 4th event, right? And my man Jim Ryan, and I'm going to show you guys right here if you didn't see it, and I'm going to read it out loud, made a statement, right? And I'm going to read this statement for y'all. Give me a second, you know, because what you're seeing. But pretty much what he says is, one way to keep PS4 users engaged would be to make upcoming PS5 games playable on older machine, just like Microsoft is proposing with Xbox Series X games being playable on Xbox One. Yet Ryan says that's not something PlayStation is interested in doing. Quote, we have always said that we believe in generations. We believe that when you go to all the trouble of creating a next-gen console, that it should include features and benefits that the previous generation does not include. And that, in our view, people should make games that can make the most of those features. We do believe in generations. And whether it's the DualSense controller, whether it's the 3D audio, whether it's the multiple ways that the SSD can be used, we are thinking that it is time to give the PlayStation community something new, something different that can really only be enjoyed on PS5. Powerful words, truly powerful words. And I'll follow that up with developer from Bluepoint, Peter Dalton, who said, I'm so excited for the future. It is time to push forward and leave our old gaming limitations behind us. Keep it in the back. It's time to move forward, right? And all of you who's been with me for a minute, you've been watching me on Twitter. I've been saying this. We all have been saying this for how long? Why would any console manufacturer put so much focus on maintaining the old platform to put on the new platform? You know, when the point of the new platform, the new console, is to move forward, to do things on the new console that wasn't be able to be done on the old platform. And not just res and frame rate. We're talking gameplay innovation and gameplay design. That is what Sony's trying to do. That is why Sony created the PlayStation 5 architecturally the way it is. That's why Sony put so much focus on communication. I showed you this pic a while ago. Now, let me try to find it again. All right, give me a second. Because like I said, I always back up. What's that? All right. All right. Okay. Again, the lead architect designer for NVIDIA said accessing even a small memory array costs way more than doing an operation. Right? In other words, it's more expensive to create an architecture to access data that's on a storage than to simply create CPUs and GPUs that perform faster, more operations. You know? So bigger T-flops, 12 T-flops, 15 T-flops, 30 T-flops. That's not, the jump to T-flops is not as expensive as it is trying to gain more access to memory faster. And he says right there, and a lot of what we think of memory costs today is really communication costs. So it's not really the SSD itself that's expensive. It's the architecture, the input output, right? That accesses the data from the SSD. And Sony spent a lot of money on this. They spent and purposely designed to push to get better access to the storage device, because that was the limitation that they've been experiencing, right? So I knew once Mark Cerny did his deep dive and he put a huge emphasis on the SSD and the I/O communication, I knew that right there is all I needed to know that we're going to get PlayStation 5 exclusives. Because it would make no sense for Sony to go cross-gen on all their games, on their biggest games, or go multi-plat with PC day one on their biggest games when they made the PS5 so unique in what their vision is. Right? So Sony believes in generation. And the truth is, it's a normal concept. It's not nothing new. Like that's the problem with a lot of conversations in gaming today, especially on Twitter. That's why I don't take Twitter seriously. People act like this is a new concept. It's probably one of the oldest concepts in gaming. You know? When you go from Nintendo to Super Nintendo, there was no expectation that the Super Nintendo games would work on Nintendo. When you go from Super Nintendo to N64, there was no expectation that the games will still work on Super Nintendo. When you went from N64 to GameCube, there was no expectation that you could still play GameCube games on the previous console. There was never really this expectation. There was really no expectation that when the new games comes out, when the new games built for the new architecture, that it still needs to work on the old architecture. That was never the expectation for consoles, you know? Especially when you're a day one adopter, you're willing to put $500, $600, whatever the consoles cost, down day one. You're not doing it so you could go home. Imagine this. You go home, right? Let's pretend you got this. Pretend this is my PS5, right? Let's pretend. And I do an unboxing live on air. Hey, guys, look at me. This is your boy, your only friend, these YouTube streets, Puertorock77. And guess what I got? Oh, my God, I got a PS5. Yeah, we're going to unbox it. And then I open it up. I show the controller. Oh, look at the DualSense. Oh my God. Yo, like you can feel it. It's like, it's totally different. Oh, look at the console. Oh, I'm gonna boot it up. And then I log on and I play Killzone Shadowfall. That's what I'm gonna do the day I unbox. I'm gonna play a PS4 game. I'm gonna play Uncharted 4. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna boot up Uncharted 4. That's the new hotness? Like, what are we doing here? Oh, I got a PS4. And then I'm going to play fucking Infamous. I'm going to play Second Son. The fuck? That's what I'm going to do? The day I buy the PS4, I can't wait to play Detroit. Yes! $500 to play Detroit again. Get your dumb ass off my timeline. Get your dumb ass. My man Mega Dave, Xbox is trash. Thank you for the super chat. Now listen, I'm not knocking backwards compatibility in its own right, right? It's a good feature. It certainly doesn't hurt the brand. In its own right, it's a good feature. In its own right, you know? If all these PlayStation games, 4 games, carry over to PlayStation 5, cool. Backwards compatibility, I don't have an issue with. I don't even have an issue with if developers, right, still make PS4 games, right? Because there are still smaller developers, mid-tier developers. What I mean by mid-tier is size and, you know, amount of money that they have. They're not ready to jump to PS5 yet, so they still got to make PS4 games. Because they need the audience that's already established. They don't have the financial backing to invest in a small audience for PS5. I get that. So they're still going to make PS5 games PS4 games. And the new PS4 games just so happen to work on the PS5 because it's backwards compatible. I have no issues with that. I have no issues with that, you know. Because you got to do what you got to do. You got to make a buck. It is a business. They pay rent. They pay mortgages. They got kids, family. You know, they do what they got to do just like everybody else. Viewmaster 617, $10. What up, P-Rock? Gotta ask, have you ever had a problem getting the hotel Wi-Fi to work on your PS4? All the time. To be honest, I gave up trying to use hotel Wi-Fi for a console. It barely works on my phone and whatever. It's just the nature of beast. That's why it just is what it is. A lot of times when I travel, it's really offline. So yeah, I always have trouble. And then if I do connect it, the speeds just suck for whatever reason. But thank you for the super chat, brother. But I'm there with you. And I traveled in hotels a lot, for my job, So backwards compatibility, Xbox just announced, and I'm going to tie both in, that they got BC and that they have the capability to make most or over 4,000 games instantly superior, the best versions. That means games that were 30 frames on 360 or Xbox One are now 60 frames. No boost mode, no variable frame rates, just straight up taking advantage of the Xbox Series X, 60 frames, 4K, HDR. That's great. That capability, it certainly doesn't help the brand, but no way in hell should that be the main point or the best thing that the platform does. No way in hell. No way in hell. Okay? And hearing from Xbox, that's all I'm hearing. It's just backwards compatibility, old generation, games are on Xbox One, smart delivery because it could be on Xbox One. That just gets old. I like what PlayStation's doing. With PlayStation, they're setting a line. They're setting a standard. You're buying. Imagine, what is a PlayStation 4 game? What is making a cross-gen game, right? That also works on the PlayStation 4 gonna do for the gamer that bought a PlayStation 5 and wants that PlayStation 5 experience. And we're not just talking about better res and resolution and graphics. We're talking about how is the SSD and the IO architecture changing game design. Well, if you're making it for the PlayStation 4, you didn't change game design. You still stuck on that limitation. That's one. Two, are you going to implement features that the DualSense can take advantage of? Because the PS4 doesn't have DualSense. It doesn't have the same controller capabilities. So are PlayStation 5 gamers asked out? Because since PlayStation 4 gamers don't have DualSense, so we really not going to get the benefits of DualSense. Or if we do get it, it's kind of half-assed because they have to focus on two platforms. What do we get out of the deal? What does PlayStation 5 gamers who buy PlayStation 5 get out of this deal with cross-gen? We get nothing. There is no benefit as a PlayStation 5 gamer to support cross-gen. Sure, you could say there's a benefit for the PlayStation 4 gamer, especially the ones who bought their consoles over the last 2 years and they weren't there for 4 or 5 years, right? Danny Ruiz, thank you for the super chat. Sony got these dudes shook, and I'm loving it. The industry is shaking up, right? Sup, slow mo, back slap. What's good, brother? Cross-gen only benefits the PS4 gamers, primarily the ones who bought their consoles over the last 2 years, right? Because it's new to them. They're not going to get a PS5, or next generation console for a while. But here's the thing. If you bought a PS4 or a PS4 Pro, if you just jumped on PlayStation 4 or PlayStation in general over the last 2 years, the benefit that you get waiting this long, we're talking the console's been out for 7 years, and you waited 5 years, 6 years to finally get it, the benefit that audience gets is not the future support and content of Sony's first party when it comes to their big games. The benefit they got is the fact that they saved so much money to play the same content we all played day one at a more expensive price. Most of us paid $400 for the console. They're only paying $200 and they get a $50 gift card. Most of us paid $50, $60 day one, $70 day one, $80 day one, depending on what version of the game you bought, the deluxe edition, the advanced edition, whatever. They only pay $10, $15. Hell, I think at one point you could get God of War for $9. When we all paid $60 day one. That is what the PlayStation 4 gamer who decided to jump late into this gen over the last 2 years, that's what they get. They get a cheaply priced console and insane amount of content for $9, $10. Just insane deals. Games for under $15, you know? We pretty much spent thousands of dollars in content throughout the last 7 years, or pretty much the whole period of the generation, right? They didn't. And they're going to get access to the same games. They're going to get Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition for like $10. God of War for $10. Spider-Man for $15. Hell, if they sign up for PS Now for $60, a one-time $60 deal, they can download Control, they can download Spider-Man, they could download a whole bunch of PS4 games. They get a lot more content at a much cheaper price as compared to what we invested in throughout the years. So if we invest so much money, all of us, then we deserve, when we buy a PlayStation 5 day one, we deserve, and it should be PlayStation 5 games. It shouldn't cater to the old architecture. We already had the old architecture. We're moving forward. So move forward with it. Now, are there going to be cross-gen games? Of course, primarily pushed by third party. Third party is going to have cross-gen games because it is not their responsibility to sell you a PlayStation 5. It's not Ubisoft's job to sell your PS5. It's not EA's job. It's not Capcom's. All these third-party developers, it's not their problem. If PS5, yes, they want PS5 to sell, but they're not going to put their investment to push it unless Sony creates some type of financial deal, kind of like what they did with the developer with Godfall, keeping Godfall away from the PS4 and stuff like that. In those cases, yeah. If Sony's going to put up some type of arrangement, you can see third-party developers, depending who they are, they'll make a PS5 only game or a PS5 PC only game, whatever, to some requirement. But for the most part, third-party developers, they'll hype the consoles, they'll hype their games, but they're in it for the profit of their individual game. And if they feel putting it on PlayStation 4 and all the platforms is what's going to make more money for them, then that's what they're going to do, right? But as far as the first party, it's Sony's responsibility to sell the PS5. It's Sony's responsibility to show what's next generation is. It's Sony's responsibility to show this is a PS5 game. This is something you can do on the PS4 platform. And that's what we want. And that's what we're happy about. So I know a lot of people were scared about Jim Ryan. Day and date, PS Now, people saying Jim Ryan's is our version of Phil Spencer. There was a lot of concerns. Whether it was for click views, fake outrage, whatever it was, the conversation was there. Many people were having concerns about Jim Ryan and the future of PlayStation. The rumors of, people changing, the culture changing, and everybody was nervous that they were going to do what Microsoft was doing and follow their template. Well, now that's over with. So don't be listening to these Xbox podcasts that are neutral and, Xbox is the preferred platform, but they love everything. Stop the bullshit. Stop that bullshit. Y'all doing it to yourselves, right? Listen to Xbox for Xbox shit because, they'll talk to you, whatever, right? But when it comes to PlayStation, be careful who you listen to because you're going to get the wrong info because they're just going to tell you stuff about PlayStation, but in relation to how it makes Xbox look good and not how PlayStation looks good and what PlayStation is doing, Because in reality, a lot of fanboys are diluting, downplaying what Sony's attempting to do, which I don't understand why. Granted, we're all talking trash, we're console warring, this is better than the other, but if you're a gamer, the fact that it doesn't matter who's doing it, that somebody, a first-party console provider, is sending a message that, hey, game development has been having a limitation for decades, and we're addressing that limitation developers have been experiencing by creating a console that's going to push game design to new levels that were not being able to reach before because of this limitation. And this is how we're doing it. That's simply what Sony's doing. How any gamer can downplay that, I don't understand. How any gamer can downplay the idea that gaming can move forward beyond just res and frame rate, and textures is beyond me. It's almost as if game design and gameplay is no longer important for a lot of these dudes. It's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? That, You have gamers not excited at the possibility that we can get a new leap in game design and gameplay, you know, and move beyond what we've been experiencing over and over again, you know, with just a better paint job, with just better graphics. Now we can actually evolve gaming, evolve game design, evolve gameplay, get better gameplay in a lot of these games. How people aren't hyped about that is beyond me, because that's what we are looking for. I mean, picture how exciting was the jump for those that were there to go from 2D Super NES, Genesis, to 3D N64, Saturn, and then the introduction of PlayStation 1. That whole gameplay design. How exciting was it to see Metal Gear go from 2D top-down to what we saw on the PlayStation 1 with Metal Gear Solid? That was absolutely amazing, you know? And hopefully, to some level, we could recapture that amazing feeling we got with Next Generation, with the PlayStation 5, you know? It just boggles my mind, you know? But I'm excited. June 4th, I will be live streaming it, all right? I will be live streaming the event. You know, going to do another podcast next week. Going to get the boys together. Hopefully I can get the boys together during the live stream event. We're going to enjoy this event, you know, and hopefully Sony, and we have to be honest. It's Sony's job to show us what they're talking about, you know. And of course, if they don't show us, I understand, it takes 2 years, 3 years to really show. I get it. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know, hopefully over the last 2-3 years, Sony's been trying to create products, to create games that meet that, you know, walk the walk based on the talk that you've been talking, because you have to do it. And it doesn't have to be every single game. Yeah, I know some games ain't going to be up to par. They're probably going to have third-party multiplats. They're going to have that. But if you have 1 or 2 standout games, and that's all you really need. We're not expecting 30 games, you know. We just need maybe at least 1 title or 2 that represents the vision you're talking about. So that way we know going forward all these other games are going to meet at a minimum this expectation and eventually surpass it as developers get better at it. Just give us an example of what you're talking about when it comes to limitations, when it comes to game design. We understand it's going to get better. I mean, look at The Last of Us 2. Inhuman, you take care, brother. All right, cuídate. All right, keep making that dollar, keep making that money. We understand that we're not going to get the very best out of the PlayStation 5 day one. I mean, again, look at The Last of Us 2. That set the bar for this generation. It's sad that the generation is pretty much over and we get in this bar now. Imagine if The Last of Us 2 was the type of game that came out in the 4th year of PlayStation. And we still got 2-3 years left, you know? But The Last of Us 2, as a technical masterpiece, set the bar. It looks incredible. It's just insane. Like, you could trick people into saying that's a PS5 game. You know? For people that don't know better, you could be like, hey, look, check out this new PS5 game. And they look at it and be like, yo, that PS5 game is good. That looks dope. You know what I'm saying? So I just hope Sony delivers on a vision, you know? As far as Xbox and PC, it's a good thing. It's a great thing. 4K 60 on all games from 360, HDR, it's a great technology, you know. But I said this many times, if you've been following me. Features can be copied. Talent in making video games cannot be copied. You can easily copy a feature. And once that feature is copied, it's dead in the water. No one cares, right? Look at all the examples that I'm about to use when it comes to copies being featured, right? Remember when PlayStation 4 was getting bashed because it didn't have 2-factor authentication? Oh my God, people can steal. You ain't got 2-factor authentication. People can log on and take your account. Oh my God, Sony security sucks. What does Sony do? They implement 2-factor authentication. So now who's complaining about that? Nobody. Oh my God, you can't change your name. PSN ID, no name change. Oh my God, PSN sucks. You can't change your ID name. What does Sony do? They implement name change. Who's complaining about that now? Oh my God, you ain't got crossplay. So anti-consumer. I want to play with my friends. Crossplay, crossplay. Sony authorizes crossplay. Who's complaining about PlayStation now? You see what I'm saying? Oh my God, party chat is only limited to 8. Xbox upgraded to 12. Hey, PlayStation sucks. Now you can do 16 in party chat. Who's complaining about that now? So look at all the examples I gave pertaining to features. Two-factor authentication, crossplay, PSN name change, adding more people to party chat. All been corrected. People moved on. But while Sony's correcting all of that, what remained for Xbox? The trash-ass first-party output that they've been doing pretty much all gen long. Not creating the most compelling IPs. The IPs they already own, they downgraded it to just maybe at best good, really good games when they were at one point Game of the Year, outstanding games of the generation. And no new big AAA IPs that knock people's socks off. A 6 flock console with no new IP to really show off its power. Microsoft never corrected that. Sony's correcting PSN name change. They're correcting party chat. They're correcting crossplay. They're correcting two-factor authentication. Correcting. Adding features. While Microsoft does nothing with their first party. At best, they bought studios, but you won't really see anything until next gen. There is no swan song for the console. There's no finishing strong. There is no big title to enjoy in the final moments of Xbox. PlayStation's delivering that, right? And what's funny is, how can these haters not see why PlayStation is gaining has so much momentum, why PlayStation has so much mind share? You know, why a simple tweet of a controller or of a symbol, just the word PS5, can gain so much attraction. I mean, hell, if you look on social media, you see nothing but what would you do for a PS5? You know, in terms of, the girlfriends and the boyfriends and stuff like that. Me with my girl when she gets me my PS5. Or even girls who don't even play video games. They be like, what I'm going to make my man do if he want that PS5. You know what I'm saying? You see that trending all throughout Twitter. That's mindshare, and it's for a reason. You have to ask yourself, how did PlayStation get this mindshare? And it's because of quality exclusives that identify with the platform. Gaming exclusives will always be the number one method, the number one spot, just the number one point that shows this is what this console is about. Everything else, a lot of features are good features, but it's supposed to, enhance or multiply, or what would be a better word? Augment. I mean, there's just this. I don't know what synonym would be a good word. Just pretty much do for the console, whose main point is the exclusive games that this specific console is going to bring. You know what I'm saying? And PlayStation's doing that in spades, So we're all excited about the PlayStation console. A lot of people. It's just insane. Don't let these haters fool you. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them hate. Don't let them fool you, with them complaining about, oh my God, Sony's using variable frequency. Who gives a shit? When they have the talent to create compelling games. Look at The Last of Us 2. It's 4.2 T-flops on a Jaguar CPU. So I'm not worried about what Sony can do with a variable clock, whatever. If that's what they want to do, let them make the console the way they want to do it. Just as long as they bring the compelling games, that's all that matters. Because that's what speaks the loudest. What speaks the loudest is the content that you play. And that can't be denied. You can't argue. You could come and bash PlayStation Pro for being 4.2 T-flops, And then Sony's like, yo, shut your mouth and eat some of this Last of Us 2. Eat some of this Ghost of Tsushima. Eat some of this God of War. Horizon Zero Dawn. Spider-Man. And what, you know? While the 16 flop console is spoon feeding us bleeding bitch. And Grounded. And broken ass Crackdown. It is what it is. And that's what gamers need to realize. This is not a conversation of choosing one platform or the other or buying. Buy what you buy, right? Buy what you buy, right? But when you see a brand that fell off hard, right? If you're a parent and your kid's coming home with F's consistently, there is no, we'll hope for you to get better. Don't worry, next semester you'll do better. Or next year you're gonna do better. You know, we got hope. No, you shit is bad. Your kid is nothing but F's. He's about to get left back. You got to implement disciplinary measures, hardcore studying habits. You got to cut back on the bullshit hanging out. If it's certain friends that are bad influences, you cut them off. You got to implement drastic measures, right? And not just implement it, you have to maintain those measures every day, every single day until the grades come up. Until you actually deliver what is expected, we're going to be on you. You're going to be on your child every single day. Every single day until that report card gets to the point where it needs to be. We're not going to jump on them and then just lay off because we're going to hope you get better. Nah, you need to show me you got better. You need to have gotten better, not hope to be better. And until that day comes, we're going to be on your neck. And we're not stopping until we see results. But I don't see that. Just the other day, I made a tweet, right? Talking about if Microsoft was really all that big, if they were big boy, if they were in big draws, if Microsoft was truly the $1 trillion big draws, we walking around with big draws. You understand what I'm saying? If they were truly that company that was big, you know, doing big things, player, right? Walking around with a fish tank pumps like a pimp, with a cane and all that, flossing. If they were that type of company with Xbox, they will go after Marvel and be like, yo, we done with this bullshit. Here's a blank check. We want X-Men. And no, this is not a choice. You're going to give us X-Men. Put how much you want on that piece of paper. Write a number down. Write any number. But we're going to walk out this office with an exclusive X-Men IP, whether it's 3-game deal, 4-game deal. But we're going to walk out this office because X-Men is going to be exclusive to Xbox Series X. So, write your number. And Marvel's going to be like, they're going to be like this. They're going to be like this. Any number? And they're going to hand the paper to Microsoft. Microsoft's going to look at it. Phil Spencer's going to go on his smartphone. He's going to go on his now defunct Microsoft, smartphone, and he'd be like, done. And he'll walk away. And now you got X-Men exclusive to Xbox Series X. You know, maybe in 2022, they introduced the first game footage of it. Exclusive. Bad. Dope looking. The same feeling we got when we saw Spider-Man at E3 2016. We're seeing it now from Microsoft. And they say exclusive. Xbox Series, not even on PC. Or at least maybe timed, and it'll go on PC a year or two later. If they were big balls, if they were big draws, and all about that Xbox Series X life, they would do some shit. So that was the tweet I made, a tweet like that. That's what Microsoft do. Because hell, even Nintendo went after an exclusive, Marvel, which was Marvel Ultimate Alliance. And Square Enix got a deal with Marvel. So it's happening. These comic book games is a big deal, right? So make it happen. That was my tweet. Yo, I had Xbox dudes crying. Oh, that's bullshit. We don't want to play the same games. Oh, you guys are hypocrites. You said no IPs, but now you want an X-Men game. Oh, you just want them to be like Sony. And I'm like, Holy shit. You're telling me that possibly one of the best ideas for Xbox and these dudes don't want it. I was like, oh, this fan base is lost, though. I'm like, yo, this fan base is lost. This fan base is lost. And you know why that's how they approached my tweet? You know why they approached it? Damage controlling. Say, no, we don't want that. Oh, I don't even like comic book games. You know why they did that? Because they know Microsoft's not about that life. Instead of being like, yo, Puertorock, you right. You know what? Let me tag Phil Spencer. Yo, Phil Spencer, what's up? Get that X-Men IP. And have the fan base just constantly go at Microsoft over and over. Yo, Sony got Spider-Man. You need to do something. You need to make it happen. Make it happen. But they won't do it. Because they know Phil Spencer's going to look at them like, you're going to play this grounded. So shut the hell up. You're going to play this Battletoads. Deal with it. So instead of holding them to a higher standard, but potentially fell at it, they're just going to protect Microsoft's image and not even attempt them. They're not even going to put Microsoft in the game. They're going to keep them on the bench. So that way they don't look like crap out on the field. And that's just, I just can't rock with that. I just can't rock with a fan base like that. You bring up a crazy dope idea and they shoot it down? No. So for that, fuck that. Excuse my language. I'm sorry. Screw that. I want the idea for Sony now. I'm going to push the idea for Sony. Screw me coming up with good ideas. Hell no. They don't deserve it. So let's us push that narrative. Let's go at Insomniac and be like, hey, Spider-Man's great. You think you could tackle on another IP like X-Men? You know, give them ideas. What would be a Marvel IP you guys like? You know? You like Daredevil? Maybe Punisher? Maybe tell Naughty Dog? Because, you know, Naughty Dog's gritty. You saw how The Last of Us 2 is gritty. Imagine a Punisher game that gritty. Give us a Punisher game. You know, whatever. Ghost Rider. You know? Maybe, Santa Monica could do a Thor game. Or Doctor Strange. Screw it. We'll just give these ideas. Blade, my man. Yeah. Blade. Give it to Sucker Punch. Screw it. Yeah, we got Iron Man VR. That's good. You know. Screw it. We'll just keep the good ideas to ourselves. Nobody wants it. You know, if people see it as damage control or fanboying, fine, whatever. We'll just come up with these great ideas and we'll just throw Sony at it and see what bites. And that just makes PlayStation better. Oh well. It is what it is. You know, and I'm cool with it. Yeah, at least I know if Sony signs off, it's going to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive. Built for PlayStation 5. Because again, Sony truly believes in generations. So with that, I'm going to sign out. I hope you enjoyed this quick impromptu podcast. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. Rock out with me. Continue to enjoy the content that I'm going to push out with the crew. And then you can check us out next week. All right? Of course, I'm your only friend in these YouTube streets. And if you don't, and before you step off, hit the like button, please. And retweet it out. Let people know that we were rocking out, having fun. But until then, hey, you guys, you take care. Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe. Wear your mask. Be smart. Don't try to fight the system. The corona shit is real. All right? Both my parents were very sick over it. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to say no more on the situation. It's real. A lot of my friends and family are sick. I never seen no shit like this in my life. So it's just simply be safe. Take care of your family. If for anything else, take care of the people around you. Just be safe. That's it. We'll get through this. All right? Don't stress out. We're going to get through this. We're going to kill this virus, and we're going to get back to going to the beach and doing all that stuff. We're going to get back to a great life, right? We're going to fix this all. You know, we're very resilient. You know, human beings are resilient. We are very resilient. We've been through the worst. We've been through world wars. We've been through famine. We've been through a lot of bullshit. This is just more tests that life throws in our plate, all right? Stay safe. Wear your mask. Take care of your family and friends. And enjoy gaming, all right? Great rocking out with you. Thank you for rocking out. I'm going to check y'all out next week. Peace.